We only consider dying before death. We reflect on the fact that this body does not belong to us, does not belong to anyone, and there is no us in this body anymore. This mind is not us, does not belong to anyone. There is no us in this mind anymore. From now on, this consciousness will no longer be our consciousness. You and I will part ways. There will be no my belongings anymore. Only nature performing its duty, evident to the mind at all times. It is the truth that it performs its functions fully, without holding on or dragging along, asserting that it is us or ours anymore. We will let these 5 aggregates, this body and mind, do their work. It's enough of holding on. We have held on for far too long, heavily and endlessly, to the point where we cannot find a way out due to ignorance. Letting go of this sense of I ends everything. Dying before we actually die will be the end. We will not foolishly suffer or expect anything from this physical reality anymore. We don't need to hope for the cycle of samsara or expect things to be one way or another. We will not expect anything from these 5 aggregates anymore. We will let the form perform its function as form, feeling perform its function as feeling, perception perform its function as perception, mental formations perform their function, and consciousness perform its function. We will not foolishly hold onto these as us or ours anymore, since we have been ignorant for far too long. It's enough. Let's put an end to it today. The mind must set itself like this. It must end today. This life must be the last one. It must declare this. If the mind declares it, our strength and spiritual merit will be complete. It will be brave, resolute, and ready to bow before the Buddha, prepared and deserving to be with the Buddha. It must be like this. It must extinguish the sense of I and mine completely. Once the mind is set, it declares, you and I will part ways tonight. It must end tonight. I will not foolishly hold on to you anymore. I will let you perform your functions fully. I will not interfere with you again. I will only acknowledge each moment and accept your nature as it is. Whatever you create or concoct is your business. Enough. This must be declared and fiercely battled. It must be cut off completely so that there is no longer even a thread of connection. Not even a slight attachment will remain. There will be no concern, love, or ties left because it never belonged to anyone anyway. But because our mind was foolish enough to consider it as ours, we have become trapped without end. If we still allow it, it will never end. We cannot be weak with it. It must be decisive. If not decisive, it will not let go of ignorance. It sticks to us like sticky rubber. It must be absolute. It must tear apart, must be severed. It must be like this. A continual confrontation is necessary. If it doesn't let go, we will fight again tomorrow morning. We will continue to challenge it, review it, and ensure it is severed, only severing it each moment without clinging. There will be no us in this mind anymore. This mind must declare it. It must fight like this continuously. This mind is not us, not ours. This mind is merely an expression of the original mind conditioned and fabricated, tricking consciousness to flow with it endlessly. You and I must part ways now. It's enough. No need to hold on in that way. It cannot remain any longer. This cycle has gone on endlessly through many lives. This time, having met the teachers and the essence of the Buddha's teachings, I will not let this opportunity slip away. If others can achieve it, why can't I? It must be declared like this. Others attain it. Even children can attain it. Who am I that I haven't done anything yet? It must be declared. The heart must be serious. This is the character of a truly resolute mind, humbling oneself to teach and instruct until the mind accepts it. Until the mind agrees, it must say so. Tell it, teach it until it is enough. There is no me in this mind anymore. It must declare this from deep within. This is how it is released from the sense of I and mine. Otherwise, the 5 aggregates cannot be released. If it is not like this, it will bind us, causing us to love, attach, and fear their departure. It must be a warrior destined to be a child of the Buddha. It must be genuinely resolute, with a strong desire, must make resolutions, and must speak before the Buddha. Tonight will be the last night that this mind will collapse. From now on, I will not cling to any fabrications in this mind anymore. It must be shattered like this. Tell the Buddha that it must be done this way. Once it is set in front of the Buddha, we will fight against it to extinguish the egoism. This is our only duty, a great task that we must accomplish in this life. This must be the last time we will rely on it, the last time we will be foolish enough to cling to it. It must be ended. We must shatter it because it was never ours. It was never anyone's. But because our minds are still ignorant, do not understand, and are careless, achieving enlightenment is not difficult at all. Others have gotten it in a flash. We must be able to do it too. It can't be that hard. Just contemplate to teach the mind, turn towards our hearts to see that these fabricated thoughts are merely phenomena of the mind. They are illusions, not something real. They are just passing experiences. As the teacher spoke Dhamma, tears flowed. My child, this is the last time we are together, my dear. What I just said, we will not be reborn again. This is the last time we are together. There will be no more of us. Shatter it like this. Tell the heart to stir up. Body, you and I will part from now on. Mind, thoughts, you and I will separate from this moment onward. I will awaken and see you. I will no longer foolishly cling or hold on to you. I will merely know and see you as you are. I will not foolishly cling to any of your fabricated thoughts anymore. Teach the mind like this. Teach it often. Settle down well before sleeping. And in the morning listen to Dhamma. Bow down with the intention not to be reborn, not to cling foolishly, to extinguish this egoism, to die before dying. When it dies from the egoism, it becomes comfortable, truly comfortable. It will be light and open because there is no self anymore in any thought, emotion, or body. Without this self, it is comfortable. It can fully live life because there is no self, only phenomena. It can truly live life to the fullest in everything. It becomes pure and joyful, awake and wonderful within. The non-self is the most splendid. Contemplating dying before dying is the highest Dhamma to consider. To extinguish individuality and the sense of self often. Use wisdom like this. Contemplate often. Teach the mind often. The mind will be satisfied, cheerful, and light because there is no self. When there is no self, it does not suffer from anything. Why should it suffer? There is no self in any of the processes of fabrication. There is no self in anyone's body. There is only nature manifesting, fabricating, entangled as it is, endlessly. Only the ignorant mind clinging and drowning in the cycle of ignorance, in deception, dragging beings in the cycle of birth and death for countless eons. Only the word enough can stop it, and only the realization of the separation between you and me can stop it. Only resoluteness can crush ignorance. It needs to be resolute and determined. Today, I speak Dhamma fully from the heart so that we can listen and reflect often, teaching the mind often so that it can let go. May all Buddhas be witnesses. From this moment onward, I will diligently listen to this Dhamma, be awake inside, and see thoughts, emotions, and awareness as nature, not me, not ours. I will not cling to any phenomena. I will not be reborn again. This life will be the last. When enlightened, I will teach my children, friends, and relatives to be awake inside, not to cling to thoughts or emotions until the last. Breath is homage to the Buddha. May it be so.